The champs from a year ago, the Towson Tigers, winning in Amherst the CAA tournament and getting that automatic bid into the NCAA tournament, of course, last spring.
Yep, and tonight we close out the CAA with these reigning conference champions, the Tigers. A strong 2019 season, finishing with an 11-5 record, 4-1 in conference play, as mentioned. CAA champions, defeating Drexel 16-14 in that championship game. The season closed out in a loss to the University of Maryland in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Final score 14-13.
The Tigers graduating their 3 leaders last spring in points. Brendan Sunday totaled 49 goals and 25 assists for a combined 74. Zach Goodrich, who made program history as the first 3-time captain, leading Towson since his sophomore season as an All-American. Alex Woodall, who was the first overall pick in the 2019 MLL draft, selected by the Ohio Machine, then later picked up by the Blaze. 4th overall in the PLL draft by the Whipsnakes, and obviously had a pretty great senior season.
And good news for the Tigers, they're returning top defenseman junior Kobe Smith. As a sophomore, Smith started all 16 games at close defense, leading the team with 20 caused turnovers. Smith, an explosive player in transition, totaling 10 points, 6 goals, 4 assists, earning USILA, second-team All-American, and first-team All-CAA defense, among other honors. Also returning, the guy in net, Tyler Canto, the Massachusetts native, playing and starting all 16 games for Towson, making double-digit saves in 10 of those 16 games, recording a goals allowed average of just under 11 per game, save percentage of .523. And he's under the leadership of Sean Nadalin. Tom caught up with Nadalin back in December at the IMLCA convention.
Joined now by Sean Nadalin, head coach at Towson. And coach, day one in the books here, you know, what have you sort of taken away that you maybe, I don't know if you did too much today, but over the course of this weekend you want to bring to your club here in 2020?
For our program, obviously, it's just getting used to some of the new verbiage maybe for the ruling, especially with the new goal mouth crease, making sure we understand that so we can bring it back to our guys and then make sure they understand it so they know kind of the parameters of that play. Also, you know, nothing big came out of our CAA conference meeting specifically that they need to know about. So today was just kind of the, getting started with the conference. But I think overall, going to some talks, trying to get some different drills and then different concepts that people are doing that might be advantageous to our program, and seeing if we want to infuse that in, and just kind of getting ready for the preseason.
Yeah, right. It's almost here. You mentioned you started off with the rules, so I'll go on that. And you did see that they're going to take a deeper look at some of the face-off things that we have discussed in the past here, Coach. Was that encouraging to you, or do you want to see more?
It was encouraging. I think that it sounds like from their point of view that they want to maybe simplify it or make it a little bit more of a quicker ground ball play and not have guys tied up. That was something that came up in their video that they showed and stuff, that they don't want to allow those plays to maybe happen and allow the ball to be in play quicker. So that's definitely encouraging. I don't know where it's going to go, but I feel like they understand that there's maybe some issues with it, and they want to try to adjust it as needed.
Yeah, it sounded like maybe more of a point of emphasis this year and even in their meetings too, which is a good thing, of course. All right, moving on, let's talk about Towson now a little bit here in the CAA, and thankfully you guys got some games on our network, 5 in total, I believe. What sort of excites you about some of those games on the schedule this year?
Yeah, well, the schedule and all is exciting. Once we get rolling, first game will be February 8th, and we start preparing for that, 31 days from now. We met with our team yesterday for our last practice, so it's pretty crazy. That's right around the corner. But it's a good slate. We got some really good home contests, really good road contests. So our guys are going to be challenged in both capacities there, with having to travel out to Denver and play out there, and then turn it around and get ready for, we start CAA play the week after that. So that'll be kind of the end of our non-conference segment, and going out there to obviously always play a tough opponent, in altitude is always interesting, and see how our guys respond to that depending on where we are in the season at that point, and then gear up for conference play, which is always, a meat grinder in the CAA.
That's a different way to describe it. We haven't heard meat grinder, I don't think, recently. You think about your success last year, and what did that mean towards the vibe of fall ball and trying to repeat that and do even better?
We had some success, but I feel like the guys, and then specifically myself as a coach of the team, is that we underperformed a little bit. I thought we had an extremely talented group. we had the ability to really go far. You know, definitely get the championship weekend and play for a championship. And you know, we underachieved to a bit of our standard there, and you know, that still, you know, left some bad taste in our mouth coming back into this year. The guys coming back understand that, you know, we're still capable of obviously playing at a high level. We returned a lot of experience. We got some new people in new places, but the standard's still set high. So the guys have been practicing really hard, been dealing with injuries, I'm sure, like everybody else in the country right now. But you know, hopefully everybody comes back healthy from kind of the holiday break, ready to go in January.
You talk about being maybe a little disappointed about falling short, especially when it comes to that NCAA game that you guys, it felt like you had it. What, I guess, do you do something differently now, or is it just sort of reinforcing the fact that, hey, look at our potential, how do we meet that?
Yeah, it's really paying attention to the little things that much more, you know, because that's really what this season came down to when you look at it, you know, and just understanding, you know, we really dove in as coaches, you know, to understand how our guys can be sharper mentally, you know, because maybe that was a little bit of our breakdown. You know, I thought physically we're in where we needed to be, but, you know, just maybe weren't paying attention to what we needed to do as well. So just, you know, looking at the mental game a little bit more for our players, trying to figure out how we need to attack that and give them more tools, you know, to be successful on the field. And, you know, obviously very intense atmospheres as all our games, you know, entail.
So. Like you mentioned, the CAA schedule's tough. Some non-conference games are tough too. So it'll be fun to watch as always, right?
Yeah, we hope so. We'll see.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate the time.